their
And
natural
she was
gas
like,
tanks.
listen up, everybody. I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. Watch your motherfucker.
That didn't happen at all.
What's up, you film nuts? My name is Jimmy. This is Jake. And we just watched the movie Mother. Alright, so Jake, let's get right into initial reactions.
We just watched it. Literally, we just watched it. It's 1:31 in the morning, and we just got done seeing it.
Jake, you go first. We had many
you
words
sure?
on the ride home, so you should go right on into it.
I would never watch that. I'm never gonna get those 121 minutes back in my life.
Yeah, I know. For me, it was rough, guys. It didn't quite make sense. You were always watching something, and you said it best. You felt disengaged. Yeah. It was like you were hoping for something that would make sense at the end, that would have everything make sense, and you'd be like, oh, that was it all along.
You were hoping for a wrap up and some closure, but you're not gonna get it.
It didn't quite come. So it's I was disappointed. So just plot summary real fast about the movie. So this is on IMDb. This is what IMDb has to say. They say it's a couple's relationship is tested when uninvited guests arrive at their home, disrupting their tranquil existence. That's pretty much all you can say without really starting to get into the spoilers. Because honestly, from then on out, it's it'd be spoiler central for us to go into.
The only thing I would mention is that the uninvited guests are not like burglars or anything.
No,
they become invited.
That's right.
Unexpected. I would say unexpected would be better than uninvited.
And you're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You're kind of in the house in the middle of nowhere, for all we know, and people start showing up, and that's pretty much it for the plot summary.
Written and directed by Darren Aronofsky. Starred Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem.
There you go.
Ed Harris, Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right.
Brian Gleason.
That's right. They come in. Domino Gleason. So Gleason brothers.
They're actual brothers in real life.
Yeah.
Oh well, they're brothers in this movie too.
But so Darren Aronofsky, that's going to be the end of me. Darren Aronofsky, he's the guy who directed Black Swan. I'm not sure if he wrote it.
And Requiem for a Dream.
And Requiem for a Dream. Which I never saw, but Jake said it was a little rough. But, alright.
That movie was rough. Alright. So was this one, though. Not in the same way, but rough nonetheless.
That's right. Alright. Well, so let's talk about the acting. Jennifer Lawrence. What do you think of Jennifer Lawrence?
I think she did well. I
think she did well too. For it was just strange. It was just, but it was well acted. I thought Javier Bardem, I thought he did a good job for his character. Ed Harris, everyone played their parts.
The acting was very well. It was very good.
We cannot complain about the acting.
No.
Acting was good.
They definitely played into the vibe of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely captured. I think they captured what Darren Aronofsky. I think they definitely captured what the director was trying to relay as far as the emotion and the sense of the movie.
That's for sure.
The only problem was that it was just they throw you into a situation that just was no backstory.
It's rough to explain because you just start right up. You don't know anything, and so I knew we were getting into something quite strange before we even went to the movie theater. Because I was telling Jake, I was on IMDb just looking at it, looking at the info, and the characters are legit called, like Jennifer Lawrence is called Mom, Javier Bardem Mother, Javier Bardem's called him. It's so they don't even have names. So
There's not one name in this entire movie.
I knew right away it's gonna be weird.
Literally, the characters' names are mother, him, man, woman, younger brother, and eldest son.
That's right.
That's the entire.
That's
and then
right.
and baby. I think. What do they even refer to that? Baby? Just baby?
I
mean...
I guess... I'm sure it was
baby.
lower on the IMDb list, but...
I don't think that kid really got a credit, but...
Well, he should have.
Just so much.
You know, what the movie did well, I would say, is creating a sense of anxiety. Because like if you have high anxiety, this movie is going to drive you insane, and you're not going to be able to quite put your finger on it why you're feeling that way. But what me and Jake, what we were talking about was how everything was really shot, especially in the beginning, especially when the camera was on Jennifer Lawrence. It was all very close up. Everything, especially in the beginning, was very, very close up. The tracking shots on Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, and that leads
me
close to my next point. Throughout the movie, Jennifer Lawrence has so many points in the story where she does not understand what's going on, and nothing makes sense to her. And you get that
because
she doesn't understand. Yeah, she feels like she's left out to something. She's forgetting, like she doesn't, like she's left out on knowing some information, and that's why she's so confused. That's what she feels like, and that's what you feel like.
That's right.
Because you don't see anything in the peripherals. All you see is her face.
You know what? Kind of going back to what we were saying, so the atmosphere that was created, that sense of anxiety, it definitely, if that was the goal, I mean, they succeeded with that. You know, it doesn't quite lead. It's not quite enjoyable to be kind of sitting through, especially if you have a rough time with just that kind of stuff. It's rough to sit through. It's just, I found myself looking at my phone just for the time, because it's just kind of painful, because you're waiting. You know, these things are happening, kind of things are getting funky, and you're waiting for a big payoff, kind of at the end. At least I was. You're waiting for that payoff. You're like, oh, that's what it was. You know, that makes sense why all this was happening. But you don't quite get it. It's one of those where, not gonna spoil the end, but it doesn't quite satisfy you. I know it didn't give me what I really needed. But
no,
so I know we're trying to avoid spoilers because we're gonna do that in the next section. But what else can you say without sharing any spoilers?
Oh man,
there's not much music.
There's almost no music.
A lot of sound effects, you know. So with the sound effects, it's very loud. I don't know if that was just the theater. Very loud.
No, it's very enhanced.
Yeah.
I think from my personal point of view, rating wise, overall, after seeing the movie and discussing it with Jimmy, and kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, I think overall I would give it a 5 out of 10. Maybe even a 6, only on the grounds of cinematography, creativity, sound tech. They did very well with this, to capture the emotion with sounds. Yeah, the different things are very loud.
That's right.
An overall art piece, which we will go into in a minute in the spoiler section about what the movie was about, really. But about a 6, I would say about a 6 out of 10. I would recommend to go see it once. I personally won't ever watch it again. I don't feel like I need to.
It's one of those movies.
There was nothing left to be desired. There was nothing like, oh, I need to see that again. Like, no. I mean, what are your thoughts? Yeah. So
from my perspective, I think I definitely agree with Jake. I would probably give this a 5 out of 10. I can appreciate what the director was trying to do. It was I would describe it as artsy. You know, the film was definitely, which we'll get into after this, like I believe a metaphor for something, but it was a very artsy, dramatic way to show what I think the director was trying to illustrate. But it was well acted. I thought the script was pretty good. Definitely, I got like really no qualms with that.
Dialogue was fun.
Yeah, but it was coming in about 2 hours. But by the end of
121 minutes.
But by the end of it, I was like, you know what, I'm definitely ready.
Oh, I was, yeah.
So 5 out of 10 for me. But it's definitely, if you want to check out something real funky, something artsy, something funky, give it a watch. Maybe don't go to the theaters. Maybe wait till it just maybe hits Netflix or something like that. That is what I would recommend.
Here, if you had not seen it yet and you're going to see it, stop watching the video. Thanks for watching, obviously.
Spoiler alert.
From here on out, we are going to be doing spoilers. We're going to get really into the storyline, and just kind of open a discussion with people who've seen it. You got anything to add before we go into?
Nope. I'm ready to go into spoilers.
Yeah. All right. You started off.
All right. So guys, in this movie, a lot of shit happens in this house that they are in.
This house.
A lot of shit goes down in this house. And, maybe we should have said that earlier with the setting. It's just the house.
Plot for this movie, if you already know, or if you just don't want to see it and you want to know. Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem, literally...
Boredom.
Whatever, boredom. And you literally... So, they're married, they live in this house. He's a writer. Mm-hmm. She...
working on this house.
She's working on She's repairing the house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
right.
her job, I guess.
That's right.
They don't leave the house ever. I don't think they have a car. As far as we really know. They never leave the house. They don't go grocery shopping at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever. But, so, long story short, he is this famous poetry writer that...
That's what I got.
That he doesn't write anymore because he can't.
He has writer's block. And, long and behold, then one day, this guy shows up at their door, and then almost invites himself in, kind of awkwardly. And then to skip forward, so that's Ed Harris, and skip forward a little bit. Then his wife shows up, and then you can tell that Jennifer Lawrence is getting upset by this.
Yeah.
And as an audience member, you're kind of getting upset because they're kind of like invading your space.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, you get put in that situation.
But Javier Bardem is okay with it.
Yeah.
He invites them in. He wants to be nice to them. Oh, you can stay here for a couple nights, wherever. You stay here for as long as you want.
That's right.
And she's getting upset because he didn't confirm that with them. Turns out that these people are fans of his.
That's right.
Which then now Javier doesn't want them to leave at all.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer starts acting really weird, talking to Jennifer Lawrence about having sex and babies and whatnot.
Yeah,
but she's acting real weird. There's a little bit of a sex scene between Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. Probably the best part of the movie. No. Anyways.
Definitely one of the more cringier parts of the movie.
But so then their sons show up. Then the one son gets beaten over to the head.
The one son kills the other son.
That's right.
In the house.
That's right. And then all the while, Jennifer Lawrence has this connection to the house. She zones out every now and again, and then you see like a heart kind of beating when she's like, it's like her being attached to the house, and you're just kind of like, what the hell's going on? But then it'll kind of flash back.
This is not a bad plot summary. This is the plot.
This is
the plot.
We're taking you through step by step,
yeah,
guys. We got you.
This is the plot.
We got you. So then basically people show up for that son's funeral, and it's still
in
this house. And so
Jennifer Lawrence is like, why is this at our house?
That's right. Then things start breaking.
Everyone throughout this whole thing is like a fan of his poetry.
That's right.
And they're like, yeah, and then like things start breaking. So Jennifer Lawrence takes it like super personal because she literally gutted and redid the entire house.
Apparently.
And like no one's listening to her and stuff. And then finally, everyone leaves after a pipe bursts and whatever.
That's right.
Then Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem go upstairs.
They make sweet love.
They make a baby.
They end up. Then
all of a sudden,
forward.
And all of a sudden, she knows she's pregnant the morning after.
That's right. She knew.
I'm not a doctor, but I know that's not how that works.
She knew. She woke up.
And even Javier was
pregnant.
like, "How do you know?" Like, she's just like, "I know." And then it skips ahead 9 months.
That's right.
Immediately to her being super duper pregnant.
And then that's when shit really starts to go down, just really to kind of speed this up a little bit. And then lo and behold, we're giving you guys everything right now.
The morning after they have sex, all of a sudden he can write again.
Yeah, everything comes back to him.
So then
ends up writing a successful poem or story, whatever he writes. So then all these fans kind of skip a little bit. All these fans start coming to the house.
At 9 months pregnant, she's about to have dinner with him. She made him a dinner.
Right. Then everybody starts showing up.
Dinner. A congratulatory dinner.
That's right.
Then all of a sudden, these people start showing up, and he wants them. They want like autographs and pictures at their house in the middle of nowhere.
The movie just steps it up a couple notches.
Spirals out of control. He invites these people in. They start like setting up a line for people to sign stuff.
Then all of a sudden people start getting shot. Military.
No.
SWAT
First it's
breaks
the
in.
rave.
People
First,
start
all of
having
a sudden,
a rave in
all
one
of a sudden,
room.
and this whole time, Jennifer Lawrence has a camera right in her face. Okay, so then every once in a while, the camera looks at what's going on, but mostly it's in her face. So she goes upstairs. She tries to change. She comes back down.
That's right.
All of a sudden, there's a rave going on, and people are partying, and then the cops bust in the windows and stuff, and they're trying to.
And it's like, as the tracking shot follows her around the house,
Yeah.
things start changing. Kind of like the seasons, but different events are taking place in the
Yeah.
house. And it was very cool how it was shot.
It was shot very.
Yeah, it was really cool. The tracking shot
Yeah.
and it just turning into all sorts of weird
But it
stuff
was-
in each room.
All of a sudden,
That was
there's
cool.
a rave, and then people are getting executed, by drug
turns into like a
lords.
cult. He starts
like,
putting like ashes on
What
them.
is what is it called?
Bizarre.
Oh, bizarre. But sex traffickers. That's what it looked like. All those girls in that cage.
Yep, then it looked like a
and
sex
then
trafficking kind of thing.
yeah, and then he started like putting marks on with ash.
That's
where,
right.
Like, it became
That's right.
like, you know what? Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It went from being really weird to all of a sudden the military comes in to the house. Shit, it starts blow. Things start blowing up. They're invading Fallujah or something, and then all of a sudden it snaps back to being super religious and super culty around this dude.
Yes. And so then
Super culty.
so she ends up then having the
This
baby inside their one bedroom.
His
And
office where he wrote it.
That's right. And so then he ends up staring at her for a couple days. Is
Maybe
what
he
it
didn't
seems
write
like.
it. Yeah. I don't know that's where.
Then
he
all of
wrote
a
it,
sudden he takes out the baby.
but- oh my god! She falls asleep because she doesn't want him to touch the baby. So
That's
she
right.
just holds the baby because she realizes how insane this dude is at this point, just like everybody else. Because he wants them all to stay.
That's right.
He's letting all this happen because he's like super into the fame or feeling awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes the baby from her while she's sleeping, and like everyone, these hundreds of people in his house. I don't even know how to explain hundreds of people, but he hands the baby to them, and they crowd surf this baby, and you watch the baby's neck break.
That's right. Then all of a sudden you hear a snap, and you're like, "Party's
And you're
over."
Like, what the? In the movie theater, I literally turn to Jimmy. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, what just? Did they just kill this baby? It's like
Well, then the best
24 hours old.
Best
not
part
even.
comes right after.
Oh yeah.
Then all of a sudden, then they start eating
So
the damn baby.
Yeah. So basically, you see this from her point of view. She's running through the crowd trying to get her baby.
Yeah.
And because she woke up, and then she sees and hears the neck snap.
By
And
the time she gets
and
to
then,
it,
then the baby comes down out of like in front of the people, so
That's
she
right.
can't see it. By the time she gets up there, they're all like worshiping this dead baby, but all you see is like a torn up carcass, and they're eating this baby. They're eating this baby.
they're going around, and she's flipping out.
Yeah.
But Javier Bardem, he seems really into it. Kind of, he's like, well, you know what, this is bad, but let's forgive him. And that's
he
kind of keeps what he's
saying.
He keeps saying that.
Because she keeps yelling, "They killed our baby," and he's like, "We just gotta wait to find a way to forgive them," and so then she realizes that he's insane still.
You know, and as an audience member, I was like, when this crazy stuff really started happening with the military and all this stuff, I'm like, okay, you know what? In the way how they were showing it, how in each room it kept changing, I'm like, you know what? This probably isn't really happening then. You know? Because I'm like, well, this is
I was
impossible.
fully expecting them to be like,
so she must
she
be
wakes
crazy
up and
or
she's
something.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
keep it going.
then Jennifer Lawrence realizes that he's not going to help, and she has to do something. So she grabs a shard of glass and starts slitting throats and stabbing people.
She's real upset about this whole baby thing.
So then things get out of control again with the crowd of people.
That's right.
They start beating the crap out of her.
That's right.
He tries to stop them from beating her up.
Mm-hmm.
And then while he's trying to stop them, she escapes to the basement.
She runs downstairs.
Takes a wrench or pliers or whatever that was.
Stabs like the oil tank or the gas or
it was I think it was just the gas tank. Their
and
natural
she was
gas
like,
tank.
"Listen up, everybody! I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down. Watch your motherfucker."
That didn't happen at all. She does this epic "I was never good enough for you" thing, staring at Javier in the face, drops the lighter, and then The house catches on fire.
Crazy explosion.
Everyone dies except for Javier and her. Completely unbelievable. Anyways.
Well, so then he ends up carrying her.
He carries her body, which Jennifer Lawrence is burned to a crisp right now.
That's right. It kind of looks like
makeup.
Anakin Skywalker when he got burnt. When
yeah,
he was
kind of like
charred
that.
up.
But whoever did the makeup, for
but the
this movie
J-Law
was pretty
version.
Good.
But yeah, so he's bringing her. She's all charred up, and he ends up grabbing, opening like her chest and taking out her heart, in which there's the crystal, in which you saw in the beginning of the movie, which represented his family. Supposedly, what she said. His backstory is his house burnt down, and so this diamond was the only thing that was left. So we're left. You're left trying to decide what is what. And what me and Jake decided, the best explanation for the movie, let us know if you guys have a better one, but the best explanation that I could really come to is the fact that this is a metaphor for an unhealthy, abusive relationship, where the one person literally gives their heart to the other person, and it ends up being just crushed. That's what I took from it, because at the end, they kind of start over to the beginning, but it's a different girl. So, like, he moved on to do the same thing to the next girl. That's what I took from it.
I don't even know if I would consider that the abusive relationship part. This is what I think. I think they were going for the relationship between this dude. Nothing made this dude happy. Mm-hmm. He didn't love her. He just loved that she was in love with him and was crazy about him.
I guess.
Which is why he loved it when the fans were there, because these fans were thinking he was like a cult leader, and that's why he's just super into anybody who's into him.
It was
so weird.
It was an experience.
It was a weird movie.
You were, like I was saying before, you were just like, you know what? I really hope there's a good payoff at the end. That'll just clear everything up, have everything make sense.
There was not.
And there was not.
There was no movie.
Fellow Film Nuts, let us know below what you thought of the movie if you guys watched it. Let us know what you think. I mean, I'm interested. I'm definitely down to have a conversation about this movie. But it was weird.
So, enjoy this movie if you go see it.
Plenty more film reviews coming from us.
Yeah.
So stick around, guys.
Definitely that. I think the next one we're going to try and do is American Assassin. Is that what that's called?
That's
American Assassin?
That's right. American Assassin is
going
to be
also
coming up.
came out tonight.
That's right.
I think that's it. Other than that,
we love you guys, and we're out.
Keep watching movies.
That's right. See you guys. Yeah.